Welcome back. We're continuing the news. To a TVJ News follow-up now, an admission from the Jamaica Fire Brigade that schools have outlived the country's previous building codes. Many of them are without emergency exits, placing students and teachers at risk in the event of fires or other disasters. Amoy Harriet reports.
Port Royal Basic School, January 2024. Heidel Group of Schools, July 2021. Different institutions, but the same threat.
The aim is for us to stay alive and to avoid getting injured.
Pauline Gail Benton is the principal of Hagley Park Prep School, despite doing regular fire drills.
If you are thinking in terms of safety and fire and escape route and all of that, and if maybe you want to look at it, say out of 10, maybe I could say in terms of readiness, we probably maybe about a 6.
Which takes us to Lawrence Tavern Primary School earlier this week, where fire destroyed the school's canteen. While there weren't any injuries, it proved challenging for persons in the nearby classroom to exit the room as there isn't an emergency exit.
Moving forward, we just have to, I don't know.
The teacher was forced to remove the metal windows in her classroom to provide an escape route for her students. In fact, most schools we visited subsequently are without emergency exits. At the Halfway Tree Primary School, we observed concrete windows. Carol O'Connor Clark is the principal.
Well, I'm not seeing that happening at my school, because the doors are always open and the entrances and the passage is always clear.
She's suggesting
we should have like our extinguishers, and those extinguishers should be checked on a regular basis.
My thing is though, we now need to be training persons how to use them.
We put the issue to Deputy Commissioner of the Fire Safety Prevention and Investigation Branch of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Sean Martin. He says the brigade will be working with the Ministry of Education to train staff to use extinguishers. But he explained that part of the problem is that most schools have outlived the country's previous building codes.
2019 would have a new building code which have stricter requirements for building to adhere to. So the schools that were built before that would have met the minimum standard of the code that existed at that particular time. And because the law is not retroactive, you find that those schools are still allowed to operate. For example, cooking facilities. In schools now being built under the current code, they would have been required to have a sprinkler system.
But some schools can't afford to do any better.
When you look at how schools operate, and you look at the budgetary implication for it, sometimes it's difficult to make the call. We would rather to have a discussion with the ministry, comes up with a plan, they make a budget for it, and they do the implementation over a period of time. So while it is a requirement, and while it should be in place, it is something that the fire department will have to think long and hard of, because you're talking about the education of our nation. And it is not something that we could just say, let's go in and shut down schools because they're not operating with it. So we look to see what other measures can be put in place.
Amoy Harriet, TVJ News.